Hey guys! Welcome back sa ating Intro to Programming session. So this is session 3.1 and for today, we will be talking about flowcharts right after this intro. So guys, eto ang session flow natin for today. So number 1, we're going to talk about flowcharts, and then secondly, the flowchart symbols, and then finally, we're going to try and create flowcharts. So without further ado, let's begin! Okay guys, simulan natin by talking about what is flowchart. So makikita natin dito, flowcharts are graphical representations of an algorithm. So gumagamit daw siya ng symbols, lines to display the step-by-step process. Kung naalala nyo, we used pseudocodes to represent an algorithm. Ngayon naman, we are using flowchart which is graphical. No? More on shapes ang gagamitin natin dito and lines. So kung makikita natin, here are the most used flowchart symbols. So hindi lang ito lahat yon, pero ito yung pinakagamit. So ito lang yung mga kailangan nyo malaman for today. Kung makikita nyo, we have the terminal start-stop. Kung mabasa nyo dito, i-zoom in natin. Ang terminal start-stop ay using oval. It indicates the beginning or the end of a flowchart. Meaning nasa unahan at nasa dulo to ng flowchart lagi etong symbol na to. Next, we have the rhombus, which is the input or the output. So, pwede natin gamitin to either way. So, it indicates an input or an output of a data. So, mamaya matututunan natin kung paano gamitin yan. Then, we have the hexagon, which is the preparation. Kung makikita nyo dito, it indicates initialization of variables or other steps. So, dito tayo nag-create ng variables natin, yung storage ng data natin. And then, we have the process, which is a rectangle. Dito naman natin ginagawa yung mga action dun sa data natin. So, for example, mag-a-addition, mag-subtraction, mag-multiplication, or other things na pwede natin gamitin to process data. And then finally, we have the flow line. Of course, ito yung mga arrows natin which indicates kung saan papunta yung flowchart natin. So, we will talk about how to create a flowchart next. For us to talk about that, we need a programming word problem. Kung makikita natin dito, we have a problem na kailangan daw natin mag-create ng program that computes for the sum of two numbers inputted. So, napakadali lang neto. And you know how to create a pseudocode for this. So, kung makikita natin, eto yung itsura ng pseudocode niya. Okay, so let's zoom this in. Makikita nyo, to create a pseudocode of adding two numbers, we need to first declare the num1, the num2, and the sum. Of course, yung num1 and num2, yun yung pag-a-add natin, and then yung sum, doon natin siya i-store. And then we use the input to input the num1 and num2, and then we read the num1 and num2, and then finally, we process it using sum is equals to num1 plus num2, meaning, i-add natin yung num1 and num2, and i-store natin siya sa sum, and then finally, to end our program, i-output lang natin yung sum, and then we successfully created a pseudocode of adding two numbers. Now, the question is, how do we do this in flowchart? So, let's try it dun sa ating draw.io para maintindihan nyo kung paano gumawa ng flowchart. Let's go! Okay guys, so nandito na tayo sa ating draw.io, and ang gagawin nga natin flowchart is the sum of two numbers. I also prepared yung mga shapes dito sa left side, but you can also find it dito. So you can search for shapes na kailangan nyo. For example, I want the shape for the process. I'm just going to search process and then press enter, and as you can see, we will see the process here, yung rectangle natin. And for example, gusto natin makita yung start and end. Type ko lang start. Kung makita nyo nung tinype ko start, we can see the start and end terminal dito. And finally, let's try yung ating preparation. So yung preparation is the hexagon, and as you can see, we can just get the shapes here. So pwede nyo din hanapin manually dito sa baba, but it's up to you. So you can use this draw.io to create your different diagrams. Okay, so now let's begin creating our sum of two numbers. Of course, lagi tayo magsisimula dito sa terminal start or end natin. Of course, ang nakalagay lang dapat dito is start. And then after nun, after we created the start, we're going to initialize our variables, of course. So, mag-a-add tayo ng dalawang numbers. So, we need variables para mailagay yung mga values natin. So, ilalagay ko lang dito, initialize. Then, sa loob, num1, and then num2, and then also, of course, yung sum natin. Same lang nung nasa pseudocode as you can see, no? Pero nagkaroon lang ng shapes dito para to represent it much better, no? And much clearer. Ang gagawin na natin next is papa-input na natin yung mga kailangan nating values, which is yung num1 and yung num2 kasi galing kay user yon. Now, I'm going to connect the arrow dito sa baba, and then ititira ko lang yung input, and then ang i-input natin is yung num1 and also yung num2. Of course, yung sum hindi natin i-input kasi yan yung result natin. So, after nating magawa tong tatlo na to, we're going to process the data next. No, so to process the data, of course, yung process na gagawin natin is to add the two numbers. So, ang gagawin natin, process, saan natin i-store yung sum of two numbers? Of course, dun sa variable na sum. Then equals num1 plus num2. And then finally, ang gagawin natin is i-output na natin yung ating value na nakuha. Which is dito, papalitan lang natin ng output tong symbol natin na to and then just put here sum. Okay? And then finally, to end our program or to end our flowchart, we're going to use the terminal again and then ilalagay lang natin sa pinakailalim and then I'm just going to connect this again and then lalagay ko lang dito end instead na start. As you can see, we now have finished our flowchart for the sum of two numbers. So, pwede nyong gawin na naka-side view, kahit naka-diagonal pa yan, basta yung pinakamadaling mababasa. And as you can see, for example, ginawa ko ganito para mas mabasa natin at ma-zoom in natin. You can also do this. Or gusto nyo, i-compress nyo pa na ganyan, you can also do that. It doesn't matter naman as long as tama yung pagkaka-flow nung data natin. So, let's analyze again. So, nagsimula tayo sa start. Then, we created our variables, yung num1, num2, and sum. And then, pina-input natin yung num1 and num2. And then, pinrocess natin yon kasi kailangan natin makuha yung sum. So, sum is equals to num1 plus num2. And finally, we have the sum. So, we need to output our sum. And then, of course, end na yung program natin because that's the flowchart of the sum of two numbers. So, ganun lang kadali. So, if you have any questions regarding this, and then mag-comment lang kayo. So, take note of the different shapes ha. Again, start and end, preparation or the initialize, the process, and then yung input or output natin. Okay, so now, let's go sa ating PowerPoint para mapag-aralan pa yung mas complicated na flowcharts. Let's go. So guys, now let's move on to more symbols na ginagamit pa ng flowchart. Ito gamit din to pero hindi kasing gamit ng mga kanina nating pinakita. So as we can see here, we have 3. So tingnan natin isa-isa yan. So we have the diamond. Ito yung decision natin. It indicates conditional paths. So meaning ito na yung conditional statements natin na tinuro ko sa inyo last episode. So paano naman to magagamit sa flowchart? We will see later. Then we have the circle. Ito yung on-page connector. It indicates a connection within the page. Meaning lang nito, pagka kasi sobrang haba na nung inyong flowchart, kailangan nyo nang ilipat ng lugar. So, ito parang it acts as a portal. No, mamaya makikita nyo kung paano ginagamit tong on-page connector. And then we have the off-page connector. Gumagamit naman siya ng pentagon. So, makikita natin, it indicates a connection outside the page. Ito kasi within the page lang. Ito outside the page. Meaning, itong off-page connector, pag sobrang laki na talaga nung flowchart nyo na hindi na siya kasya sa isang page. Okay? So, makikita natin later kung paano gamitin yung mga yan. Now, let's talk about another programming word problem na gagamit ng conditional natin na symbol. So, makikita natin dito, create a program that checks for the inputted age. If it is greater or equal 18, then display legal age. Otherwise, display minor age. So, very easy lang din. Kung maaalala nyo, we created a pseudocode for this. Ito yung itsura niya. So, declare age, of course, or initialize age. It doesn't matter kung ano gagamitin nyo. Then, we're going to input the age. Then, we're going to read the age. And then, we're going to check if the age is greater than or equal 18. And then, if yung age natin is mas malaki or equals to 18, output legal age. Else naman, pagka hindi, output minor age. And then, we're going to end if. And then, yun na. So, ganun lang kadali to check the age if it's greater than or equals to 18 or not. Now, how do we do this in flowchart? So, tingnan na ulit natin. Let's go to our draw.io and gawin natin to. Let's go. Okay guys, so we're back here. Ang gagawin naman natin ngayon is yung age verification. Ito yung ating problem and sa left side, nakita natin, dinagdagan ko na ng mga bagong shapes na natutunan natin. Okay, so now, let's begin. Now, of course, magsisimula pa rin tayo dito sa ating start symbol, which is yung start and end symbol na terminal. And then, we're going to initialize our variables na gagamitin for this. Of course, ang variable lang na gagamitin natin for our program is the age. Napakadali lang kasi ito lang i-check natin no, yung age na to. Then after nun, we're going to let the user input the age. Kung makikita nyo, medyo humahaba na yung ano natin, no? Flowchart. So, I'm going to shift sa pagiging horizontal siguro nito. Ayan, magawin nating horizontal yung pagkakagawa natin para magamit na din natin tong on-page connector. No, so, ang gagawin natin, papa-input natin yung age. So, after natin ipa-input yung age, we're going to check if the age is greater than or equals to 18. So, we're going to do that by using a diamond symbol. Now, if I'm going to put it here, medyo sumisikip na. So, of course, mag-extend naman to, pero different page na to, no? So, what we can do is to use our on-page connector. Ito yung on-page connector natin. I'm going to connect that. After natin mag-input ng age, magko-connect siya doon sa on-page connector. Kung makikita nyo, letter A yung nakalagay. Ang ginagamit dito guys is letters no kadalasan. So after nung first on-page connector natin, i-connect natin siya dito sa baba. And then I'm going to connect the A dun sa susunod nating step. Meaning this is just a portal. No, pagka-input natin ng age, pasok dito sa A, magte-teleport siya dito. So, meaning, nandito na tayo ngayong process. So, ito yung on-page connector. It is within the page. So, ngayon, ang question natin is if yung age natin is greater than or equals sa 18, ngayon, saan pupunta to? So, let's zoom in. So, lakihan ko lang to para kita natin yung as in yung condition. So, if yes, pagka yung age natin is greater than or equals to 18, we're going to output a different thing. So, dito, i-connect ko dito, output legal age. So, paano po namin malalaman kung yes or no to? No? So, kung nasaan yung true or false. So, lalagyan lang natin ng label yon. So, gagawin natin dito, lalagyan ko ng text. I'm just going to change the font. Yan. Lagay ko dito, yes. So, ibig sabihin, if yes to or true, pwede nyo ilagay true or false. It depends on you kung ano gusto nyo gamitin. No? So, pwede ding yes or no. No? Para mas madaling basahin ng hindi sanay mag-program. So, if yung age daw natin is mas malaki or equals sa 18, and yes siya, output legal age. And then, else naman, or yung false natin, or yung no, lalagay ko lang dito no, output naman natin dito, minor age. Then finally, we're just going to put a terminal ulit dito sa ilalim. Then I'm just gonna name it end. And then i-connect lang natin tong dalawa na to dun sa end symbol natin. And with that, this is our flowchart for age verification. So makita nyo gumamit tayo ng on-page connector pagka sumosobrang haba na yung ating flowchart to make it more clean. Create a program na nag-check ng age. So pagka-start natin, initialize the age. Papa-input natin kay user yung age and then go here sa A. Then if yung age natin is greater than or equals to 18, pagka daw yes, let's output legal age and then end the program. Pagka naman daw no, output daw natin yung minor age and then end the program. And with that, we have finished our age verification flowchart. By the way guys, now if you're going to create another on-page connector, letter B na yung susunod yung gagamitin. Kasi meron ng letter A. Dapat meron lang tayo isang pares. And then after natin gumamit na ng letter B, let's use letter C and so on and so forth. No, para lang malinis. Same with the off-page connector which we will talk about later. Ang off-page connector, 1 tsaka 1 naman. And then, 2 pagka pangalawa na. So, it's the same principle pero different lang yung nakalagay dun sa loob. And yung usage niya dapat, eto within, eto outside our page. So, next time, we're going to use that. So, let's go back sa ating PowerPoint and let's proceed dun sa mga susunod pa nating pag-aaralan. Let's go. So guys, we have here another programming word problem na pwede nyo itry gawan ng flowchart. So sabi dito, create a program that computes salary by using the rate per hour and then the hours worked inputted by the user. So first, ibig sabihin magko-compute muna tayo and then i-display daw natin high pay kapag yung salary natin is greater than or equals 5,000 and then low pay naman kapag hindi. So meaning pinaghalo lang natin yung pinag-aralan natin ng unang-una dun sa pangalawa nating pinag-aralan and then we're going to create a flowchart using those knowledge. So i-try nyo muna to, i-post nyo yung video and then try to create a flowchart bago kayo mag-proceed para ma-check nyo kung naintindihan nyo ba kung paano gumawa ng flowchart. So, nagawa niyo na ba? So, if yes, so papakita ko muna sa inyo yung ating pseudocode para mas maintindihan natin kung paano siya i-translate into a flowchart. So, kung makikita natin, we have here the pseudocode of salary computation. So, what we're going to do is to declare the variables na gagamitin natin. We have the rate, the hours work, and then the salary. So, of course, yung rate tsaka hours work, yun yung papa-input natin kasi yun yung gagamitin natin to compute our salary. And then, i-read lang natin, and then ipaprocess natin ngayon yung salary natin which is equals to the rate times yung hours work natin. And then kapag yung salary or yung result ng salary natin is greater than or equals to 5,000, then we're going to output high pay and then otherwise output low pay and then end if. Sorry guys, nakalimutan ko lang yung semicolon dito. So it is optional but I do recommend to put semicolons when you are creating a pseudocode. Okay, so with that, let's try to create a flowchart for this salary computation. Let's go. So guys, andito na tayo sa ating draw.io. Gagawin na natin yung salary computation flowchart natin. So ito yung problem natin and then we have the symbols on the left side. So of course, let's begin. So magsisimula tayo lagi of course sa terminal start natin. Then after nun, lagi naman natin i-initialize yung mga variables na gagamitin natin sa program natin. So ang gagawin natin, initialize yung ating rate, yung ating hours work, and of course, our salary. And yes, guys, okay lang kahit 3 lines yung ating maging text do sa loob ng symbol. It doesn't matter kung gaano kahaba pa yan. Then after nun, we're going to let the user input yung mga kailangan nating data. So, kakabit ko lang dito. Input yung ating rate, tsaka yung hours work. Kasi yun yung gagamitin natin to compute for our salary. So, igigilid ko lang to para makagawa ako ng on-page connector. So, gagamit ako ng on-page connector dito sa right side ng input. Ayan, and then I'm just going to move it dito sa ilalim para mas malinis yung ating flowchart. And then after nun, we're going to compute or process our salary. So dito lalagay ko sila sa process. Salary is now equals dun sa ating hours work times rate. Then habaan ko lang para magandang tingnan. Then after natin ma-process yung salary natin, we're now going to check if it is greater than or equals to 5,000. So gagamit tayo nung ating diamond symbol for our conditional checking. So makita natin dito if yung ating salary is greater than or equals 5,000. We're just going to put that and then lakihan ko lang ng konti ito siguro just to make sure na maganda lang tingnan, no? So, ayan, okay na yan. So, after nun, guys, we're going to output different things based dun sa ating condition. Siyempre, output ang gagamitin nating symbol, input or output symbol. So, makikita natin dito, igigilid ko lang ng konti ito siguro para magkasya pa yung mga to. Yan, so, gilid natin dito ng konti. And then, i-connect natin tong arrow dito sa right side natin. So, gagawin lang natin, output, pagka yes, high, pay ang ilalagay natin. Siguro liitan na lang natin tong output natin para malinis tingnan yung ating flowchart. And then lalagyan ko lang ng ating yes dito para malaman natin kung saan papunta yung flow pagka yes yung salary is greater than or equals to 5,000. And then sa baba naman, again, we're going to put no naman para naman ito yung pagka hindi siya greater than or equals 5,000. So I'm going to put no. Then output low pay. Okay, so baba lang natin ng konti para mas malinis tingnan. Okay, and with that, i-end na natin yung ating flowchart by using the terminal end ulit. And then, lalagay ko lang dito end. Pwede nyo liitan to kung gusto nyo na hindi naman kailangan gantong kahaba lagi yung start tsaka yung end nyo. Okay, and with that, we are now finished with our salary computation flowchart. Paano itong gumagana, guys? So, let's analyze. No? So, nagsimula tayo sa start. We initialize the three variables, rate, hours work, and salary. Then, pina-input natin kay user yung rate tsaka hours work para makompute natin yung salary. And then, we process. So, nag-teleport tayo na using the on-page connector. Then, we process the salary, which is equals dun sa hours work natin times yung rate natin. And then, ngayon, nakuha na natin yung salary. We're going to check if yung salary na yon is greater than or equals to 5,000. If yes, then output high pay and then end the program. If no, output low pay and then end the program. And with that, we are finished with our exercise. So, sana nakuha nyo to. So, kung ganito yung itsura nung nakuha nyo or somehow ganito yung itsura, then congratulations. You now know kung paano gumawa ng flowchart. So, 90% of the time naman, ganito yung itsura nung magiging flowchart nyo. So, meron pa tayong final na challenge na mas mahirap. So, gagamitin natin dun yung off-page connector. So, tingnan na natin sa PowerPoint yung final tutorial challenge natin. Let's go! So guys, ito na yung final challenge natin for today. So sabi dito, create a program that calculates the monthly electricity bill based on the number of kilowatt hours consumed. Siyempre, yung user will input the total kilowatt hour used and the cost per kilowatt hour. And sabi dito, pagka daw yung raw bill natin, meaning wala pang nade-deduct, 5,000 or greater, a-apply daw tayo ng 10% discount. Pagka naman daw 3,000 to 499, 5% yung discount. Pagka naman daw below 3,000, of course, wala na tayong discount. Sa raw bill yon. Then after nating makompute yung final bill, if the final bill is greater than or equals to 4,500, i-display lang natin high electricity bill. Pagka naman daw hindi, display normal electricity bill. Meaning, ito is much more complicated na kasi dalawang beses tayo magko-conditional symbol and of course, magko-compute din tayo dito ng electricity bill. So, try to do this using an off-page connector kasi medyo mahaba-haba na yung ating magiging flowchart dito kasi merong computation and then meron dalawang conditional symbols. And kung mapansin nyo, etong isang condition natin is tatlo yung condition. No? So, kung mapansin nyo, 5,000 or greater, 3,000 to 4,999 and also below 3,000. So, parang if-else statement na to na tinuro natin dun sa last episode natin about common concepts in programming. So, try it, post yun na yung video and then try to create a flowchart for this. So, nagawa nyo na ba guys? If yes, then congratulations sa inyo na intindihan nyo na yung ating flowcharts. If hindi naman, then let's try to do it together para mas maintindihan nyo. So, let's go sa ating draw.io to create our final tutorial challenge. Let's go. So guys, dito na tayo sa ating Draw.io. So ito na yung ating problem. So gagawin natin to using flowchart of course. So let's start with our terminal start dito. And then syempre ang next is initialize naman lagi. So yung mga variables na kailangan natin dito sa ating system or sa program natin. So lalakyan ko lang to kasi medyo marami tayong i-declare na variables. So, let's analyze kung ano yung mga variables na kailangan natin. So, unang-una, to compute our raw bill, yung raw bill natin is yung wala pang discount, no? Kailangan natin yung number of kilowatt hours consumed and also yung cost per kilowatt hour. Kasi yun yung imumultiply natin to get yung ating raw bill. So, kailangan kong initialize yung ating kilowatt hour consumed and also cost per kilowatt hour. So, cost kilowatt hour na ipapangalan ko. The next is yung paglalagyan natin ng raw bill, of course. So, lalagyan ko lang dito raw bill. And then, ano pa yung mga kasunod? So, dito na natin i-initialize sa simula lahat para wala na tayong i-initialize later. So, after nung raw bill, we need the discount. Kasi, doon natin malalaman kung may discount ba tayo or wala. And then, finally, we need the final bill kasi doon natin ilalagay yung pinakahuling bill natin pagka naibawas naman na yung discount natin. So, lalakihan ko lang tong initialize natin to fit every variables na dineclare natin. So, we have 5 variables in total. So, ito yung mga gagamitin natin. So, now, let's proceed sa next natin gagawin. So, una natin kailangan gawin is ipa-input kay user yung kailangan natin to compute our bills. Okay? So, para ma-compute yun, we're going to let the user input our kilowatt hour consumed and at the same time, yung ating cost per kilowatt hour. So, yan yung dalawang i-input ni user. So, liitan ko lang to ng konti. Pwede naman siyang bumaba ng ganyan para magkaroon tayo ng on-page connector dito sa gilid para malinis. I'm going to use an on-page connector for now since hindi pa naman tayo umi-exit dun sa page natin. So, eto, lilipat tayo sa ilalim. So, after nating ma-input yung ating kilowatt hour consumed and yung cost per kilowatt hour natin, what we're going to do next is to process that. No, para malaman natin kung ilan yung ating raw bill. So, to process that, yung raw bill natin would be equals to kilowatt hour consumed times yung cost per kilowatt hour natin. So, later, you will understand kung paano nangyari dito, no? So, yan. So, hinabaan ko lang para one line lang, na para malinis lang tingnan. After kung ma-check yung raw bill natin na yan, no, then, i-check na natin kung ilan ba talaga yung magiging discount natin. So, gagamit ako ngayon ng conditional statement or conditional symbols dito sa right side. And then, i-check ko if, yung raw bill natin is greater than or equals 5,000 kasi yun yung unang condition dito. 5,000 or higher, 10% yung discount. So, if yes, iba yung mangyayari. If no, iba din yung mangyayari. So, medyo mahaba na yung ating lalagyan. So, ibababa ko lang muna ulit dito. And then, gagawa tayo ng letter B. So, para malinis lang tayo dito. Gawa tayo ng ating on-page connector ulit na letter B naman. Then, I'm going to put it here. No? So, yan. Then, pagka yes, of course, lalagay natin dito, process. Then, our discount would be equals 0.1 or 10%. Yan yung 10% natin o 0.1. So, lalagay ko lang dito yung text na yes to say na pagka yung raw bill natin is greater than or equals to 5,000, then ang discount natin is 10%. So, lalagay ko lang dito yes. Then, after nun, if no naman, ano gagawin natin next? So, lakihan ko lang to para basang-basa. Then, dito, yung no natin sa baba. Then, another condition to. No? So, yes, pwede yung pagdikit-dikitin yung conditions. Pwedeng paulit-ulit yung condition natin. So, pagka daw hindi greater than or equals to 5,000, pwede naman greater than or equals 3,000 naman. So, if raw bill is greater than or equals to 3,000. No? So, pagka ganyan, yes ulit, dito sa gilid niya, ang discount naman natin ay, sabi dun sa taas is 5% discount. So, ibig sabihin, ang discount would be 0.05. Okay? So, with that, yung yes natin, lagay ko lang dito na wala. So, yan. So, yan yung discount natin pagka yung raw bill natin is greater than or equals to 3,000 pero hindi mas malaki sa 5,000. Then, another one, ang mangyayari dito pagka hindi pa rin 0% na yung discount natin. So, lalagay ko lang dito sa baba, process, and then lalagay ko lang, discount should be equals to 0. And then, for the sake na magamit natin yung ating off-page connector, we're going to use an off-page connector dito since mahaba-haba na din naman yung ating flowchart. Then, lalagay ko lang din siya dito sa right side ng process. So, makikita nyo, marami yung off-page connector natin na papasukan pero ang output niyan is dito sa kabila. So, makikita nyo, this is a different page na so I'm using an off-page connector instead of an on-page connector kasi nasa kabilang page na tayo. So, I'm gonna put it here. So, after nating makuha yung discount natin, no, nalaman na natin kung ano yung discount natin, we're now going to process ulit, no, we're going to process our final bill. No, so, eto lalagay ko lang dito, process our final bill. So, eto final bill natin, medyo mahaba-haba yung process nito, no? To actually compute our final bill, we need our raw bill, then ma-minus natin yung raw bill ulit times yung discount natin. So, depende kung 10% yung discount natin, depende kung 5% yung discount natin, or 0 yung discount natin, then yun yung magiging final bill natin. And then finally, we're just going to check if electricity bill natin is high or low. Pagka daw 4,500 or higher, then high electricity bill yung i-output, and pagka naman daw hindi, low electricity bill. So, we're going to use yet another symbol na diamond dito sa baba. Then, I'm just going to connect that. Pagka daw yung final bill is greater than or equals 4,500. Yan. And then, yes or no lang ulit to. Siguro, dito ko na lang ilalagay yung yes tsaka no sa left side and then the right side. Output na yung gagawin natin ngayon. No. So, dito lalagay natin. Yan. Itataas ko lang ng konti dito para malinis. Course. Yan. So, dito, pagka daw greater than or equals, lalagyan natin ng yes. Copy ko lang tong yes dito and I'm going to put it here. Then, output, electricity bill. Then, pagka naman hindi, pagka no, yan. So, lagay lang natin ulit dito. Yan, dito sa ating right side naman. Lagay ko lang dito no. Yan. So, habaan pa ata natin kasi hindi siya kamukha nung nasa kabila or masyadong mahaba ata. Yan. 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 So, pagka no naman, low electricity bill. O, hindi ata pantay yung taas. Yan. Then, finally, we're going to end our program or our flowchart using the terminal end. Lalagay ko lang dito sa baba. End. And then, I'm going to connect this again sa ilalim naman. And with that, we are finished with the flowchart dun sa computation ng electricity bill natin. So, kung makikita nyo, this is kind of complex, pero madali pa rin namang intindihan if you're going to check it one by one. So, tingnan natin, no? So, let's start from the beginning before we end our tutorial. So, makikita nyo, we use the terminal start para mag-start, and then we use the hexagon to initialize. So, makikita nyo, we initialize the kilowatt hour consumed, cost per kilowatt hour, raw bill, discount, and then the final bill. Then, pina-input natin yung kailangan natin para makompute yung raw bill, kilowatt hour consumed, and then cost per kilowatt hour. And then, after natin pa-input yon, we used an on-page connector para ma-connect dito. And then, to process our raw bill, minultiply lang natin yung kinonsume natin na kilowatt hour and yung cost per kilowatt hour. Then, after nun, we use an on-page connector ulit para dito naman sa baba. And then, chinek natin kung yung raw bill natin is greater than or equals to 5,000. If yes, we have a 10% discount. Now, we have a 10% discount and then off-page connector. And then, if no naman, i-check pa natin kung yung raw bill natin is greater than or equals to 3,000. Kasi pagka yes, meron naman tayong 5% discount. Then, pagka may 5% discount tayo, lipat na tayo ulit sa off-page connector. And then, pagka wala pa rin, we forgot to put no here, sorry. Then, yung discount natin will be equals to 0. So, ibig sabihin ng loan, wala tayong discount and then off-page connector ulit. Then, after nating ma-check kung may discount tayo or wala, eto na yung off-page connector, we're going to process our final bill, wherein our final bill is equals to dun sa raw bill natin minus yung raw bill times discount, yung discount natin, no, kung may 5% discount, kung may 10% discount. So, kung may 5,000 man tayo na raw bill, our discount would be 10%. So, mangyayari nun, 500 yung discount natin. So, magiging 4,500 yung ating final bill. And then, after nun, i-check natin kung yung final bill natin is 4,500 or mas malaki pa doon. If yes, output high electricity bill and then end our program. And if no naman, pag mas mababa sa 4,500, let's just output low electricity bill and then end our program. And with that, we have finished our flowchart. So if you have any questions, just comment sa ating comment section. So if natama nyo to, then very good, no? So there are a lot of ways to do the same thing with different flowcharts, no? Pwede nyo paghiwalayin yung process neto, pwede kayong magdalawang process, pwedeng mas konti yung variables nyo pagka nakagawa kayo ng ibang way. So there are a lot of ways, hindi lang ito yung way. Of course, since programming nga to, no? So, programming, there are a lot of ways to do the same thing with different process. Okay? So, yun lang guys, no? So, if you have any question, comment sa ating comment section. So, sana may natutunan kayo for today. So, yun lang guys. Thank you for watching this video. And as always guys, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!